Welcome in, everyone. Flow and charts starting. If you're new to joining us, we look at unusual whales flow, look at market tide, look at Periscope. We'll go through, it's a very small list of notable flow today. It's been very quiet. I was going to say we typically take live trades, but for some reason I can't log into my trading account here, so I think they might be having issues, so we might not be taking any live scalps, but we'll take a peek and see if there's a setup possibly here. But let's start with the market tide here. It's a bullish market tide here. Call premiums are ask side right now. Put premiums are bid side. Good positive net volume here, mostly led by Tesla and HOOD right now. So just kind of seeing that move up right now. Not really a big bear sighting at all right now. Periscope, we've just been kind of chopping in this positive gamma here. Curious to see what we do in here if we kind of dampen that price here and maybe see a small kind of slowdown. Can kind of see where we've been at most of the day. Been kind of rejecting this spot here. Still got some positioning down here at 60 or 76.70 as well. Yeah, kind of tough to short with that market tide kind of pumping there right now. Looks like Bean's got a contract to take a peek at. Let's take a peek at this guy first here. BR. Yeah, I saw these ones a little bit earlier. They're so long. What's up, Oshri? Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you didn't have too much wine at dinner time. Yeah, these are they look good to start out. I mean, you get that initial pop there when you get the big opening trade, and then you kind of see that fill. So you're getting that ascending fill. Ivy's kind of dancing around, then it kind of levels out. You get that ascending fill here again. Ivy pops there. This is, yeah, the kind of the weird part that you're referring to, though. Again, you're getting that ascending fill essentially here, and this 1400 here at the time is another opening trade, because at that time that 1400 is larger than that 500 there. So I mean, it's like we have two opening trades on this one there. Yeah, I mean, I'd almost lean buy to open on these. I mean, I would. I was like, what is that noise behind me? The dog came down here. I was like, he was upstairs. Yeah, they're so long dated too. I mean, you got earnings in 74 days. I mean, I would lean buy to open on them. Again, you get that nice Ivy spike when they come in here. Your spot's filling up the ask, and I mean, this 100 here, it's hard to know if it's related. I mean, it's about a 4-minute difference too. It's interesting flow there. I mean, I would probably lean buy to open on them if you made me trade it there. I mean, like you said, they're only 5% out of the money, so you know, probably a buy to open here. Anything else on this today? Some shorter dated puts here. Doesn't look like it's heavy size. Let's see. Yeah, all the other call premiums have already kind of moved up here. How's that heat zone look on this? Anything? Oh, it's going to be one of those open interest ones. We don't get enough, or we don't have enough open interest to really pick a direction here. Yeah, I mean, your heat zone's telling me bullish here for the most part. I mean, there's not a ton of expirations on this either there. Yeah, definitely an interesting one there. I mean, I would probably lean buy to open on that flow, just kind of the way that it's hitting there at the end there, especially on that big size there. Yeah, probably lean with that there. All right, Pipsy's got one for us here. Let's see the Intel puts here. Yeah, these just hit the tape. It looks like 552 contracts, so I do just want to kind of go back and take a peek here. Let's see. Right away here, so you got 524 here, you got 561 here. Very, very similar sizing. I would want to double check that open interest. This almost looks like it's an exit to me. I'm just kind of trying to look here. Let's see. So we had the two. Okay, so that was the 18th. So all that carried over. We had 200 there. Yeah, you're just kind of seeing a lot of this intraday volume here and not big carryovers. It does look like this one is related to this one here, though, to me. I think this might be an exit here. This is 1 to definitely double check that open interest on Monday there. Yeah, this almost looks like an exit here. I probably wouldn't guess on that one and try to swing anything here. And even kind of looking at the tape here, look at our IVs dropping here towards the end. Spot is still filling at the ask there. I think these are closures here. I think these are closures 500 there. I mean, yeah, it is very, very close there. Yeah, I would probably lean that those are closures there. Obviously, double check that open interest to confirm here. I am kind of eyeing these. Ooh, we're getting a lot of multi-leg junk coming in here. Perfect. Yeah, sweet. Laro's got one for us too. Yeah, please drop your contracts because the flow's been really quiet here. These. So let's see, what do we got here? So this one, a little trickier here. I actually saw these a little bit earlier. So you do get that kind of IV drop here when that flow comes in. Spot is filling at the ask here. It's just kind of one of those block trades where you don't get a ton of context with it there. The part I don't like about this is that IV's dropping with that stock price rise in there. Now, again, that's not saying that this isn't not going to work out. I mean, they're 0% out of, I mean, they're like right at the money there. So, you know, the odds of kind of getting, you know, you're so close to the money here. Do we have anything else on those? Yeah, I don't like that IV drop on those. I just want to see if there's anything else on the tape here. Anything else about these? I think these might be the ones we just looked at. I don't know. Okay, not that one. I want to look at that highest volume one, the 70. That's kind of messy there too, and you do have some previous open interest. Kind of looking. Want to see how long this has been sitting in here. 100 since May. Yeah, this volume's not very clean. We can take a peek at it just for some fun. So, I mean, you're kind of getting that ascending fillish there, but yeah, this big size here. I think I agree with Bean on those, at least the ones that you sent, Laurel, there. I think they might be short. It's hard to tell. There's just not enough context there to really give a super clean direction. They are, I mean, pretty much right at the money there. So, I mean, if you're shorting calls right at the money, I mean, you got to be very, very sure on something there. What do we, let's see. So earnings in 70 days, these don't overlap earnings. Just want to look at that gamma here. I hate when we don't get a directionalized intraday there because we don't get enough volume on these. Yeah, I mean, just from an open interest standpoint from yesterday's open interest, I mean, we're coming into that positive gamma. I mean, a lot of the longer term stuff there's a lot of positive gamma above us. That absolute gamma is at 7250. I mean, if I'm just doing this based off of the open interest change into today, I'd almost lean bullish there. I mean, your absolute gamma's above us here. We're sitting right above that put wall. Gamma flip, we're below that flip. So I mean that 68.22 is the number you're gonna want to watch. If we break that, we could see a little more upside there. That's a good, interesting find there. That's one to potentially keep an eye on there. Energy too. I mean, you're gonna see a lot of it. It's gonna be macro driven mostly there too. Yeah, that's an interesting one there. I don't dislike it, but I just don't like that block trade coming in there. I want to check one more thing on here too. Let me go back here. Let's see if there's anything else really. How about 814? I just want to go look at the 14th there, see what that looked like. Oh, Hank, why do you stink? God, I can smell the dog from here. He's in the couch behind me and he just stinks. I think, or well, I don't know, I have the window open too. It could be that. Like these don't look bad either. I mean, like these look wide open, but they're very, very long term there too. I I mean, if you made me trade that, the D1 there, I'd probably buy them just knowing that there's a lot of headline risk and everything right now. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Probably not enough context to really do anything. And then you kind of have this other chunk of flow here too, where you see that is at the same time. No, it's not. I mean, IV pops when this comes in, but then these are filling at the bid. So I mean, it's kind of a little too many questions there. I mean, you guys hear me say it all the time. If you got to sit there and question it to try to make it fit into a trade, just kind of pass on it. Yeah, that's a good one to kind of keep an eye on there. I want to look at those. Where are those shell weeklies? Where are they? Shouldn't have to go down too far. We haven't had that much flow here today. Let's see. Shell. Right here. Yeah, these were interesting to me. I mean, because they are coming into the weekend. They're not too far out of the money. Just, I mean, always concerned about escalation over the weekend. I mean, look at that here. I mean, these look pretty good here. I mean, nice IV spike when they come in. You're getting that ascending fill. I mean, these look really good. I just wish they weren't 7 days out where you got 2 days of that theta decay, but it's not a not necessarily. I mean, it's a decent little hedge to kind of keep on there. I did also see, I mean, they saw a little profit there, 24 up to 5%, nothing major. I did see, and then I saw BE here too again for some energy. That's a little more messy on this one here, a little more smacks on this one. Yeah, the flow's been so quiet today here, and then we had those hood lottos from earlier. I mean, those things just shot up so quick. There's nothing to really do on that. If hood would have been up 8% here, I mean, this tape looked very good on these when they came in. Just always risk chasing something when it's up 8%, but yeah, nice big IV spike on those spots filling at the ask. Spot fills at the ask. Yeah, these looked, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be hindsight too on something like that, Pipsy. I mean, it was up 8%. I mean, like, here's where that flow came in, that 8:30, 8:35 time. Here we are right here. I mean, you're up already kind of, pretty significantly on the day. It was up like 8% at the time. So, you're chasing something up that's 8%. Hindsight's going to always suck sometimes there. What else do we have for flow here? Those meta puts. I'm actually kind of eyeing these. I might take some of these if we don't make a move on these into close here. I like these. Lots of time on those. Not too far out of the money. I like that call premium kind of trying to tail off throughout the day. Put premiums are kind of picking up. Negative net volume. I just want to see where we kind of close at. But yeah, I like these. So let's go look at our tape here. Yeah, nice big spike in that IV when they come in spots filling at the ask. We fill at the ask the entire time, and just kind of looking at that heat zone as well here too. Trying to exclude that 0 DTE because we don't really probably care about that too much now, but I'm looking at that 824 there. A lot of put buying kind of going on there, assumed put buying, I should say. And then you see all that positive gamma up here as well too. So I'm just kind of thinking, I mean, our call wall's right here at that 555. We're very close to that there. Yeah, see kind of where we close at on these. I gotta look at that summary tab on this here too. Yeah, just look at all that acceleration below us too. But not a lot for that open interest change this morning on these here. Just kind of curious to see what we do with this one here. Look at that heat zone one more time on this one here. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at your 0 DT. It's going to be your biggest figures there anyways. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking out here. I mean, that 824, 550 is a very interesting kind of node there. Just kind of looking throughout here, and you'd see a lot of those kind of nodes down here. I mean, you got your put wall here too, so your lines right here, and you can see, I mean, a lot of kind of short puts there, kind of mixed on that 550 or 545 node, and then looking at that 547. That's your short call node there. that's the one that would kind of interest me a little bit more there. Yeah, okay, we'll see, we'll see. I'm kind of don't want to swing anything over the weekend, but those are a nice little cheap kind of play to swing over there. But other than that, let's see what else do we got coming in. Anything else hitting the tape here? Yeah, just kind of chopping in that gamma here. Let me see if I can log back into this stupid thing now. Ah, something's got to be down with this because I cannot log in. It will not let me log in. So I don't know if we're going to get a live trade in, which sucks because I haven't traded anything here today on this. So I'm just like, oh, I'll wait for power hour and might not be getting that there. What are these? Oh, more BT. Let's look at these BTDRs here. Yeah, there was some more TMC flow too. I don't know if you saw it, Bean. Let me just look down here quick. I saw it. Yeah, right here, that 1125 call. Lot of hits on this one though too. A lot of hits on this one here. And kind of higher multi-leg on those. Yeah, those ones that you initially kind of showed me a little kind of gotta wait for that stupid open interest. You know how it goes. Let's look at these BTDRs here, 12, 18, 16 calls. So we're up kind of decently on the day. They're 43% out of the money. Just want to take a peek at them, see if there's anything that looks good in these. So kind of, again, one of those block trades that got to kind of be aware of there. I don't like that IV drop there. We're filling it to ask, though. They are kind of far out of the money, so I mean, I almost might lean short there. They're pretty far out of the money, even with that amount of time on them. And I don't like that call premium just kind of being down more so on there. I wonder if there's anything in our heat zone here as well. Let's just take a peek here. What do we got? So 0 day. That's the only thing I don't like about Fridays. Your highest gamma is going to be on that 0 DTE expiration. So you got to kind of look around here. But yeah, I mean, kind of looking at next week's expiration, I mean, a lot of negative gamma above us here. Yeah, I mean, like, this looks bullish for next week already. I mean, you're seeing market makers are short calls, short calls, short calls, short calls there. So customers are long those calls. So if we go and look in here, it's your call. Again, it doesn't mean it's actionable flow. It's just assuming direction more so on these. It's not 100% confirmed market maker position. But yeah, I mean, like, if I'm looking at this here for like a roadmap for next week here, I want to actually see the chart here. So here we are at 1122. We're way above that flip there. So we're going to be in that dampening regimen right there. As long as we hold this 11 here, or actually this 11 here is kind of it's kind of a flat reading there. So market makers are long the calls, short the puts there. So customers are, actually this would be kind of more of a bearish node here with your, click out of here, with market makers long calls, customers would be short calls and long puts there. So yeah, that 11's kind of my one that I would keep an eye on there. 10.5 here would be my kind of support potentially, but if we get a move up here, I mean, you're going to move through a lot of that negative gamma kind of fast there. Maybe a small little road bump at 12, but yeah, most of that's up above us there. Oh yeah, the heat maps are great. The heat maps are great. Great. Even like if you look at Uber today, like those, if you would have took that at open, now let me pull up on Weeble here. Like, keep in mind at 0 DTE stuff, like if you would have took these at open here, I mean, we opened at 79.69. I mean, look at that drop there. I mean, you got that kind of bearish read there, and even if you would have kind of missed it there and got in there, I mean, you still saw a little more downside there, but that thing kind of gave up some gains there. What? PCG's a little longer term there too. That was one from there. Yeah, coin. I was really eyeing coin too going into today, but that thing was gapped up way too much to even do anything with that there. But yeah, I just want to look at that heat zone on this one. Nope, this guy right here. Yeah, so like if I'm looking at that directional, so I mean they were long those puts there at 78. So I mean, like if I'm just kind of looking at the overall tape here. I mean, it's not actionable flow. Sometimes you'll see some actionable flow in here, but more often than not, you don't see a big chunk of flow. Like if you look at the CMCSA weekly setup from last week or this week, whatever you want to call it now, that was a very, very nice setup. We actually had flow within that heat map that looked very good there. That was probably the cleanest setup there too. Pretty much everything from that weekly heat zone thing made a move. I think everything actually did. All right, what's coming in here? NRG, whatever these. This looks like an opener. We got 505, so this is a opener. Let's just take a peek at our tape here. Yeah, I like that big IV spike when these come in here. Spot is filling up the ask, 28 days out. Yeah, these look good here. These look good here. Not a massive bid-ask spread here. What is this? Another energy. Preference changing how people think about energy. Another energy name. It's kind of interesting that we're seeing a lot of energy names come in right now. A lot of energy stuff coming in here. I'm going to post these here too. These look kind of good. They look good here. So here's our nice IV spike when it comes in. We're filling at the ask, all kind of at that same timing. Let me throw these into our channel. If I could channel correctly, that would help. All right, let me pop this guy here. Yeah, this one's an interesting one, and look at that big spike in that net call premium there too. This trade alone is responsible for that. I like that they're not too far out of the money. A little pricey, but not too bad there. IV spikes as flow comes in. Ooh. Sorry, I caught something off camera here. Klay Thompson's expected to sign with the Heat. Interesting. Okay. Wasn't expecting that on a Friday. IV spikes as flow comes in. Fills at ask. Responsible for the spike in net call premium. All right. Let's get that posted there. I think he was on the Mavs last year. I think they traded him 2 years ago. I don't know, he's kind of washed anyways. Yeah, let's yeah, he was on Golden State for a while. Yeah, is it 2 years already, Oshri, that it was on the Mavs? I know it was a year for sure. I thought it interesting. I didn't know it was 2 years. I knew it was a year for sure. All right, let's take a peek here at Periscope. Yeah, that's what we do on a Friday when it's slow here. So Periscope, I want to see if it'll let me log in. I don't know why it's not letting me log in, and it's annoying me. Okay, I'm not trying to keep my account number up on the screen so people can get in. But okay, well, we might just be kind of free talking it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to take a trade if I can't log in, but we're coming up to that 76.80 here. Just kind of keep an eye here. That price has just had issues kind of getting over this for the most part today. We did have that big run up there, but 76.80 is really popping here. Just kind of acting as that resistance here. I like them building up at that 75 and 76.70 still here. I'm still keeping this as maybe a little bearish read right now. We don't have a lot of positioning above us to really kind of drive us up there. Yeah, I wish I could get on here and try. I'm just gonna move this over on the other screen because I'm gonna keep trying to get in here, and I just don't want my account number to keep popping up. Not that I don't trust you guys. It's just the video gets posted online. So, you know how that goes. Yeah, there's got to be something with it. Let me just check it again. Trade of 8 down. Anything? No. Let's see. Down detector. Trade of 8. Maybe it's under Tradeify. Nope, not Tateify. Jeez. I don't even know if it's on here. No, it's not on here. Cool. All right. Well, I think it might be down, but yeah, I'm watching that 76.80 level there, maybe for a possible rejection there, especially with that negative gamma down there. What are we doing? Market tide, any changes on that? Yeah, still kind of a bullish market tide here. Call premiums are still kind of moving in tandem, still ask side mostly led by Tesla. Put premiums aren't really climbing up there. But there, you see how we're kind of rejecting that area right there. I'm going to open another trading view on this one so we can at least kind of talk about it there. That sucks. I've been waiting all day to kind of trade, and there we go. So we're looking again. I mean, we're talking about taking a possible short kind of there. God, I hate doing it like this. It's so stupid. It's so furu-ish there to do it like that. But you can see how they're rejecting off that positive gamma right there and kind of going towards that negative gamma. We'll keep an eye on that there. Might be doing stupid lines for trades today. I don't know why I can't log in. That's just frustrating. All right, anything else on the flow here? How about these Intel calls? I got to check these with that fill saying it's kind of a mid. So let's take a peek there. Let's take a peek at these here. So a little drop in that IV here. Spot is filling at the ask. So now again, when I see that drop in that IV, I do like seeing what that stock price is doing. So that stock price is up about 15 cents there. No, like 16. Geez, my math is not mathing today. Anyways, that IV's down there. Stock price is up. That's kind of a yellow flag there for me. Just kind of following this up. Seeing a couple drops here. I mean, some bid side fills in here. And you kind of see that IV tail off again a little bit at the end there. Just kind of, you know, a messier tape there. Something where it's just, you're asking too many questions. Again, just look at that timing here. I mean, it's all that same timing. No, this is little trailers coming in here. This more than likely isn't probably related to that. But yeah, I mean, just that end of the tape here. A little too many kind of questions there. Again, it's only one contract, 8 contracts, but you already had that IV drop when it came in, so you kind of had that yellow flag already to start off there. Yeah, not the cleanest looking tape, and looking at Intel too, I don't know how that heat zone looks on this. What we got here, let's see what we got for next week here. What are they? Short calls. Oh, they are heavy short calls on that 91 there. Assumed short calls. I should go with that there. Yeah, that's, I just like to look at that flow there, just see if there's anything interesting with flow. Yeah, so, and then at 90 again, short calls, long puts there. Short calls, kind of maybe a little, well, our flips here at 89.18, so anything below that's gonna really see that regimen change to acceleration. So our put walls down here too at 88, so that put wall is kind of the last. I mean, I have this kind of as a bearish read, at least going into, well, Monday's expiration there. Yeah, obviously the 0DTE stuff's probably not going to help us too much with 20 minutes left in the day. I keep trying to hit connect on this Tradeify thing over here too. It's not letting me in. Interesting. Okay, well, probably gonna freeze my account for all the time trying to get in. Yeah, and just kind of looking at those premiums there too. I mean, call premiums are just, I mean, at the lowest level of the day, put premiums are at the highest level of the day. Just not, Intel's just a kind of volatile name right now. I'm still eyeing these metas though to see if we can potentially get some of these going into close. And Intel's a fun mover if you get on the correct side. All right, how's our Periscope looking? Yeah, just kind of chopping here at that 76.80. Again, we're not getting over that positive gamma there. Not really seeing anything change down here either. I mean, I still keep this as a bearish read here. They kind of dropped a little on that update, but nothing major. They're building a little bit up there at 76.85 there. So, I mean, we do have some negative gamma up here, but we got to get over that 76.80 here if you're going to look for some momentum to the upside. This 76.80 is going to act as our kind of, you know, either we're going to go up or we're going to go down. I hate talking like that, but I mean, that's truly what it's going to do here. This is our, we're going to hold this as support and try to go up, or we're going to keep it as that resistance, which it's kind of been all day there, and kind of go down. And I kind of have that downside bias there with that heavier negative gamma below us there. We'll just keep that kind of line here so we have that line in the sand. I'm going to keep trying to log in here too. It won't connect. I don't know what's going on. That sucks. That sucks. And I logged into my Tradeify and it let me into that, but oh, that sucks. Way to trade all day there. So, okay, update there. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to kind of build up there, but they're building up below here and a little build up down there as well, too. We're kind of popping up above this here. Well, we'll see what we do here. We'll see what we do here. All right, let's see. Anything else coming in? How about these NEMs? Everything's long dated today. 25% out of the money. And nothing really good on the premium side of things. We're just going to have a big block trade here. Yeah, not a ton of context. I don't like that IV drop there. I mean, obviously that flows from a lot earlier in the day, but we don't have a lot of context around this one to do anything with. Too long dated anyways. Too long dated anyways. See, Bean's got another contract for us. Oh, the geos. Let's take a peek here. 5%. Ooh, yeah, 5% in the money. What is it saying that these were? Let's see what it said. Whoa, what? What is this? Okay, that must be new. I haven't seen that before. I mean, so the trade structure thing. Sorry, that's kind of what I meant there. Yeah, no, I mean that's new. I haven't seen that before on there. All right, yeah, let's take a peek at these. So let's see. So you got your 0-day here. You got 28-day here. What the hell was that? Something outside like just made a big noise. Okay, anyways, so the 20,000er here is definitely opening here. So these 0 days, these are probably closures here. I just want to see how these look. And it's a 3-leg trade here too. Yeah, these look like they're closed and maybe potentially rolled out. What's it trying to say this is? I'll go back to it there. It's not even giving us really a thing. Trade structure here. Yeah, this is cool. I haven't seen this before. I just want to see what this looks like here. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen this. That's new there. I just pop in the option profit calculator. Let's just see. It's probably gonna lean bullish here. Let's see. Yeah, it's saying it was a bullish spread there. I mean, it's showing you it wants it to go up there. Yeah, that's an interesting one there. Kind of a 3-legger there, but they're up. They're up there, and we've had good geo flow before there too. Good geo flow there before too. Yeah, that's cool. They must have just added that, the trade structure thing, because I have not. That's not usually up there. That's must be brand new. All right, let's keep popping there. Yeah, again, so I mean, coming back to here, I mean, we're holding that line in the sand right now. We're having trouble getting over that positive gamma level there. So they're still kind of trying to build up, but they dropped a little bit there at 75. 70 kind of dropped off a little bit there. Still would keep it bearish, minus a big pop up here to the upside, but watching that 76.80 starting to kind of drop off a little bit there. If it continues to drop off there, dealers won't have to hedge as much, which could give us a little upside movement there. But as of right now, it's still going to act as a little resistance. And again, you can just see our cute little line that we've drawn here. We just haven't been able to get over it there. All right, let's take a peek here at the tape. Let's go look at the screener here, see if there's anything interesting coming in on this. These DKs, these came in, of course, when I was snagging lunch there. These actually looked really good. I came back and saw those there. And I was like, of course, when I'm at lunch, it has to do that. But yeah, good IV spike there. So spot kind of, or IV drops a little bit there, but kind of looking at this spot here. Then there's your big volume coming in there. Maybe the flow wasn't as clean as I thought it was. I looked at it, and I was like, oh, that would look like a good one there. Oh, here we go. That's why I was like, what am I looking at? I'm missing something there. So yeah, I mean, there's your big volume, and premium coming in there, big IV spike, spot fills with the ask. 11:15. Somebody was in the McDonald's drive-through at that time, so didn't see those, but maybe some profit taking going on there. Anything else? Those Intel calls are the second on that hottest contract. So yeah, I'm curious to see what goes on with those. How about these LRCXs? They're 30% out of the money. Let's take a peek at these. One of those big block trades, and this is that first trade on the day here too. Look at that wide bid-ask spread there. That is nasty there. That is a very wide bid-ask spread there. It's that first trade on the day there. You see the 3120 or 3120 size there. It's telling us our volume's 3120, so that's the first trade on the day there. We don't have anything before to see how that IV changes when it comes in. Yeah, a little tricky on something like that. All right, Bean's got another contract here for us. Let's look at these. Moderna, I'd be so scared trading anything Moderna right now just because it's going to be volatile. Those, speaking of Moderna, we'll look at the other ones here. I wonder if these are potentially short 19% out of the money. I mean, I wouldn't want to short Moderna calls at all right now. I mean, that you'd have to be very very brave to do something like that, but spiking that IV, spots filling at the ask. IV kind of drops a little bit here, then it drops a little more in here. Yeah, I don't like that IV dropping. It does come back up a little bit here. It's kind of poking around. IV drops a little bit. It's just kind of all over the place on that one there. I do want to pull up, speaking of Moderna here, those, what's next week, the 28th here. These from yesterday, this was a good interesting one there. More of a lotto type though, just with the short datedness and how much IV was around it. That was a new chain yesterday too. All that 547 there against no open interest. Easy opening trade there, and just kind of looking at this here too. I mean, this one, look at that nice IV spike there. Spot filled with the ask. It looked very clean there. Just the volatility alone with the 26% out of the money kind of was a little more risky. But yeah, I mean, 325 and they touch 640 today. So I mean, good move on those. Oshri, let's see, how much will you consider as a nice IV? So I just kind of more so look for a small IV spike when that flow comes in there. I'm like, if it's like 0.01, like I'm still considering that an IV spike as long as the flow's still filling at the ass, kind of the net premiums look good, so on like that. There's not like a magic rule for it, but I mean, like, obviously the bigger the IV spike, the better. But like if we go, like, let me pull up those metas there because I think those are a decent example here. So like the metas here, let's pop these up here. So like I'm more so like, okay, it's a 0.10% IV spike. Like it's not like I don't have like a set like, oh, it's not like 0.15. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just kind of more so looking to see how that when that flow comes in, like what happens. There's like I'm seeing a IV spike here. So again, that kind of thesis behind IV is IV's increasing when there's an expected move coming. So like, that you're seeing the IV pop up on these, like, hey, maybe the contracts are being priced to see a move to the downside. So that's why you're seeing that kind of ask side there. And it's I should rewrite a good article on IV there because it's a lot to dive into on a live with 20 minutes left on it. I'm gonna actually write that down and make a note to do another good deep dive on an IV article. I think I have one, but it might not be a super deep dive one. We can I'll work on that there. I don't think it'll be this weekend because I think we're gonna be out of town. I don't know if we're staying out Saturday for it, but I'll either want sometime this week or next weekend. I'll get a really good deep dive on like the implied volatility and seeing it change with options contracts and all that when it comes in out there, because it's like it's not, and again, just because that IV rises or drops to, it doesn't necessarily mean that contract's going to move in that correct direction either. Like, it's just different things within each piece of flow that you want to look for. Like, I mean, like the metas here, I mean, these look really good to me where you get that IV spike, your spots filling at the ask here. And then if you look at the actual premiums here too as well, like, hey, I notice my call premiums are dropping throughout the day. My put premiums are kind of trying to tickle up a little bit here. I got a lot of heavy negative net volume, so I know there's a lot of bid side calls and ask side puts coming in. So it's kind of using the multiple tools as well there too. It's not like, again, a science where, hey, I'm gonna mix this and it's gonna work out every single time, because there's plenty of times where that IV bounces around or decreases and the stock moves in the correct direction. So I mean, you just get the clues again, and keep in mind these are people that are placing these trades too. So like, they can be incorrect, and we don't know, this could potentially be a hedge or it's related to another trade. Now, it doesn't show up as a multi-leg trade, but you don't know, maybe this person's buying a ton of shares and they just have a put on for a hedge. Like, it's just, there's, plenty of things there. That's why you kind of you'll see more, puts were more invented or came up with and invented. Puts are more for, hedging purposes. So like, that's why you'll see me kind of post more call flow typically. Now, yes, there's put flow that gets posted and all that, but you'll kind of see a lot of more bid side puts, so put writing and all that. That's what you kind of like seeing, in the put writing, the ask side calls. Now, yes, I mean, there's plenty of times we see a lot of ask side puts that print too, but puts are kind of more for hedging more so just kind of, that's what they came up for. But I mean, 28 days out, 15% out of the money, with how big of moves meta can make, it's potential. And just kind of market, like, now, if all our call, like, if we had like massive ask side call premium, massive positive net volume, I'm probably not gonna post those. But again, we see that time and time again where, hey, you're getting that counter trend trade and it works out there. Like, I just want to see what that stock moves. So we got 28 days on these. So these are what, 918. So let me do this here. So like 918. So I mean, it's got a plus minus of 7.33%. So I mean, you get a 7% move on a stock in your direction on these. Like, that contract's gonna pay on something like that. So I mean, I'm eyeing these. Like, well, let's see where we are at close here. I might swing some of these over the weekend here. More wolf calls coming in here. And it looks like it's some multi-leg stuff there too. Yeah, big multi-leg here. Big multi-leg. Is it going to be a messy one too? These look like a roll here, so let's see. It looks, and there's a lot of open interest on this one too, so kind of tough to know, but my guess would be a roll. Looks like they're probably getting out here and rolling those out to 1016. I tend to stick away from the multi-legs. It's all, you're already trying to flip a coin almost and guess if somebody's buying or selling a call or put. You added a multi-leg in there and you're adding a whole nother different facet to it, where it's like, okay, well, now I'm trying to guess this while I'm already guessing something else. So I mean, you typically never see me trade multi-legs there. I mean, unless it's a roll or something very simple that you can do. Okay, let's see if it'll let me into my trade of 8 here. God, I think trade of 8's down. It will not let me in. Well, let's just take a peek here. Okay, well, we're kind of above that positive gamma, so kind of how you guys were hearing me talk about that 7680. You see it kind of declining there over the last 10 minutes there, so that market maker hedging activity decreases a little bit. We saw some of that downside kind of dropping off, and they're trying to build up here. Finally broke out of that kind of resistance spot there. All right, how's that update look there? Again, you see that 7680 starting to kind of decline there, so that resistance is, market makers don't have to, hedge into that move as much now. So that's why you're kind of seeing that move up here a little bit, and that downside activity is dropping off a little bit there too. Oh, we're going to get a good move into close, and I'm not going to be able to trade it. And I'm going to be mad here. Why will it not let me in? something's goofy with trade of 8. Something's goofy going on. And it lets me into trade of 5 here, I think. Let me just double check. Pop the flow back up while we look here. How about these Planet Labs? Not the best fill either. Yeah, I can get in my trade of 5, no problem. Nothing's wrong on the account. Everything's good on that. Interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Purple. I'm just gonna see where we are at close there. I'm really picky. Obviously, you know, I'm really picky about swinging over the weekend there. Actually, speaking of reminding me, I should probably open my portfolio in case I do decide to do that. Yeah, I just want to see where we kind of close at here. I'd love to see Meta run so I can get a little better of an entry here. I mean, like, it's just if I pop back 7 days, and again, this is just looking at it historically there too. I mean, just back on the 19th here, I mean, these were up at $2 a contract. So, I mean, these contracts can move here. These contracts can move. And I like the read on those. It's just, I gotta see if we can get a good entry on those. Let's see. Bean's got another contract first. Oh, the Wolves. Oh, yeah, those ones we just looked at there, the 10-16. Yeah, they look kind of rollish to me anyways there. Rollish, and then you kind of look at that, the big bid side one there. Yeah, these almost look kind of short here, like rolling down, and then they're kind of rolling out. Yeah, they're kind of goofy. Again, multi-legs I tend to avoid. They're goofy looking though, Bean. You're could possibly you're right there. I mean, they're goofy. I don't want to dig back too deep into it. I'm sure it's probably been rolled a couple times. All right, let's just keep popping around here. What's our market tide doing? So call premiums are kind of tailing off a little bit. Put premiums are still dropping. It's still technically a bullish market tide because our call premiums are ask side. Our net volume is heavy, so we are seeing ask side calls, bid side puts. Now, this is what's interesting to me here. Now, look at that growth down there at 76.75 here. A little dropped off at 70 here, so they're kind of trying to grow it up a little bit there. So this is kind of telling me that we're going to probably see a volatile close here. So we got MOC here in 3 minutes. That support resistance spot here at 76.80 has been decreasing significantly. So that's telling me we can see a, get out of the way box, a kind of, you know, a violent move through this negative gamma area here, especially if we lose that positive gamma spot, which is going to dampen that price when we get to it there. Oh, come on, let me log in. I want to trade this stupid thing. I don't think it's going to let me trade. Well, I guess we'll just manually be talking about it. That sucks. All right, how about, what's these HLs coming in here? So no earnings, it's an opening trade. Nice spike in that call premium here. 25% out of the money, not too bad. Let's take a gander at these. All right, let's see. Oh, we're probably not going to get context with this one, I think. Let's see. Oh, okay, so no. Okay, so with that nice IV spike on these. Spots filling at the ask. Just kind of tail this up. We look good here. Spots still at the ask that entire time. These look good. These are going to go into the flow alerts here. Spots, so IV pop, spots filling at the ask. Same timing. Let me pop these over here. What is HL? HL is create value for shareholders coming in, blah, 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 mining. Interesting. Well, it is a good opener there, and I like that call premium spike. You know, it's already kind of popping a little bit here. All right, let's get these in here. No, come back here. Now we're starting to get some decent flow into the end of the day. IV pops as flow comes in, fills at the ask. Heavy ask side net call premium and net volume. Yeah, those look pretty good going into close. Cores, God, I hate this name so much. kind of a messy fill anyways on that. You're seeing a spike in put premium almost at the same time there, so that tells me there's probably some sort of put going on there too. I want to see if those shells are moving here. Shells moving in the close? No, nothing there. I'm eyeing those shells potentially too, but oh, look at them build up here too. So they're building up now after that downside's kind of dropping off there. This is going to be a big move into close one of these ways here. I mean, that positive gamma is pretty much all gone now, too. We're going to see a big pop one of these ways. And now, I mean, I'd almost kind of have that as a bullish setup here going into close here. Look at that upside gamma or negative gamma expanding here. You know, it's market makers are short calls, so customers are long those calls. So that's very interesting to me. I mean, you come and touch that 80 there quick. That's still a little support there, a little dampening effect there. That's not a bad spot to maybe short that up. Obviously, we just had MOC here too. I mean, like if I'm gonna, God, I hate moving a line here. That's just gonna bother me. Let's give it another try, please. Nope. God. Maybe this one? Nope. Yeah, something's got to be up with. I tried the last hour. I can't even get it there. So yeah, you can see they're trying to flip this negative here, 76.80. What is that there? So they're long puts there. I mean, this is going to be a violent close kind of either way. I mean, it's probably a good thing that I can't trade right now just because it looks like we're going to kind of get a violent move in here. Either way, I'd still almost have it as an upside move here right now, but it's just a very big range here into close right now. What's meta doing? I want to pop those metas open here just in case I want to snag some here. What are we doing? Are we kind of crawling up a little bit here? You know what? Let me just see what they're priced at right now. Let's see, meta, 28 days out. Come on. Let's see, meta. Let's see, 28 days. Where is the 465s? 465. So I want to go at least 28 days out. Put 465s. I don't know. They're saying they're priced at 110 right now. So it's kind of off that high. I think I'm going to snag a couple of these here. Let me just throw this over. Let me see what I fill at here, actually, and let me move this up here. Yeah, I'm going to, what is this, 465 here? I kind of want to, what's on that 470, 475. I kind of like that 470 a little bit more. There's a lot of open interest on that one there. It's a little closer to the money there. I think I'm going to go with those 470s there at 135. See if I can fill there. The spread's a little kind of goofy. Let's see if I can get like a mid fill on this. Oh, it's going to make me hit the ask, isn't it? 134. Okay, I filled those there. Okay, let me just pop this over here. So I would assume you probably have to hit the ask on that 465. Yeah, typically I go closer to the money too. I usually don't take the super far out of the money stuff. Where is my all right, here we go. Let's see. Taking some of these here. Fill is, I'm just gonna say 111 there. All right. There we go. We are in there. Yeah, I'll typically just post that. I'm not going to kind of make it super confusing for everybody. I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm going with the 470s, 475s, you know, something different there. I try to post the flow that was there. Otherwise, you start seeing other stuff and you're like, why are you posting different contracts? It can make it a little confusing, but yeah, we had a good week on those flow trades, so I gonna swing a good little amount on this here. All right, let's see what are we doing here. I need to save this as well too so I can watch this. Please give me news like after hours that, hey, Meta's like filing bankruptcy. Oh, it's diving a little bit here. Hey, maybe we'll get a nice little 10-15% mover into lows here. That'd be kind of cool. Be kind of nice. What are we doing here? Oof. They dropped that really hard there. They dropped that really hard there. Again, I mean, just kind of what I was saying. You're going to see a lot of volatility here with that positive gamma dropping off there. And it did not even stop at all there. Oof, that's a big move down. See if we can see what it does here. See how that update looks like. Okay, anything with that flow? Yeah, come on, Meta, dive. Give me like a $2 dive into close. $2-3 drop into close would be wonderful. All right, let's see what we're gonna do here. Are we gonna hold it there? Yeah, I mean, just a lot of negative gamma here. Again, kind of, just expect a lot of volatility in that negative gamma. And again, you guys hear me say it a lot. Trading in the middle of that negative gamma, you're likely gonna be caught in one of these moves, kind of either way. It's a lot more risky than kind of trying to bounce that off some positive gamma somewhere. Again, now we're starting to kind of see that bounce here. I wonder if we're going to see a kind of violent move up now, or we're just going to kind of see a violent move back down there. There's a lot of gamma here to kind of target here. Like usually when you guys see me scalp here into close, I mean, it's usually, one big gamma bar above us or below us there where we can kind of target that. This is a little tougher to target when it's kind of set up like this here. As I'm still trying to get into my trading. I don't care what you're going to do. It's a prop account. Nobody's going to take anything out of this. Yeah, oh, yeah. I would keep this as a bit. Look at all that upside just drop off there. Yeah, they're going to probably try to drop this a little bit into close. Look at that build up there at 76.75 there. Market makers are long calls, so customers are short calls. They're going to want it to try to finish under that 76.75 there. Any move on Meta there yet? No, not yet. Yeah, I think they're going to probably try to drop this here, or almost even kind of pin it here at that 75-ish area there. We'll see what they do. Oh, if I was trading this, I would be probably trying to short this right now. Getting ready to short it there, especially with that big drop off up there. Let's see what it does here. Could pop the other way. I mean, there's still got a lot of that negative gamma there, but it's building up below us there. What are we doing there? Oh, God. Now they build up a little bit there at 76.80 there, too. Then you build up there at 76.75 there. Yeah, it's violent close. Kind of a messy close to trade, but still keep that kind of downside bias there. Look at that put premium picking up on SPY there, right into close there, too. I hate not being able to trade. This is like the first time on a stream that I haven't been able to trade there. It's our Meta doing just kind of, let's get a little more downside there. I'm break even on almost in 0%. Guess it's ramen for dinner tonight. I want to see, we got a minute left there. I want to see if it's going to kind of try to drop it a little bit. I just kind of try to pin it a little bit here. We're going to get a big candle here into close. It's that update there. Oh, they might try to drop it a little bit back towards 75 there. All that dropped off there, but not a big. I was expecting more of a violent move there. Oh, there's the downside candle that you're kind of looking for. Couple points there. Oh, there it goes. There it goes, right through VWAP. Just watching my money go away because I couldn't trade that there. Oh, that sucks. That's okay. That's okay. It's yeah, it's just, and today Oshri too. This is a messy setup there. That's a messy setup. Oh, that sucks. That was a good read on into close there too. Oh, that sucks. All right. Well, I'm hoping they might try to pop it a little bit after hours here. I want to see if we'll hang out for a minute or two here, but I just want to see if they try to pop it here. So now you see them kind of grow again here at 76.80 and a little bit above here. They might try to pop it a little bit after hours there. I'm not big on the after hours trading, but anything. What did Meta do there in the close? I kind of tried to tickle down a little bit there. Oh, I closed at break even on these here. I'm happy with that going into the weekend. I would have hated to go into the weekend like down 10%, 15% on something like that. Are they going to try to pop it at all into close? Or at close? It's already kind of close there. Let's see. Create a paper trade on ES right now. It's 150. Yeah, I paper traded sadly too when oh god, that sucked. That sucked. Yeah, I almost like, because you guys see me trade on Whale Watch during the day too. Like I almost like the last like 20, 30 minutes a lot more because you're seeing that positioning change a lot quicker and you're kind of getting more of a directional bias there. But I guess I ain't gonna try to pop it really into close. Oh, a lot of that just kind of evaporated there. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna bother you guys anymore here. You guys have a fantastic weekend. I'll have the notable flow out actually tonight because I won't be around tomorrow. So, all right, you guys have a great weekend. I will see you all next week. Have a safe, fun weekend. See you guys later.